Good morning. Thanks for joining us for the Daily Rundown. I'm Ray Bogan. First responders involved in the Tyre Nichols case have been fired. An appeals court rules that Johnson & Johnson cannot use a subsidiary to protect itself from lawsuits. And new research shows humans and dolphins can successfully work together to catch fish. This is Straight Arrow News, unbiased, straight facts. President Biden has informed Congress that he is ending the national emergency and public health emergency for COVID on May 11th. That means the federal government's response will move from fighting the coronavirus as a pandemic to an endemic. The public health emergency was first declared January 31st, 2020. The national emergency was enacted that March. So far this morning, more than 1,700 flights have been canceled and more than 8,000 delayed due to a winter ice storm that's moving from Texas all the way up through Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Pennsylvania. It has the potential to cause dangerous travel conditions and power outages for at least the next 48 hours. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is in Seoul, South Korea, where overnight he announced the U.S. will send more advanced weapons, including fighter jets and bombers, to the Korean peninsula. This is in response to what the Defense Department says is a growing nuclear threat from North Korea. Austin also said the two countries have agreed to expand military exercises, including live fire demonstrations.
The U.S. commitment to the defense of Korea is ironclad. You heard us say that a number of times, but that's just not a slogan. It is what we're all about. That commitment is ironclad. And our extended deterrence is at the heart of that commitment.
The U.S. has more than 28,000 service members deployed in South Korea. And the Memphis Fire Department announced 2 EMTs have been fired for failing to conduct an adequate patient assessment of Tyre Nichols. The department also says a lieutenant was fired for waiting in the engine after their team responded to a report of someone being pepper sprayed. Additionally, the Memphis Police Department says 2 more officers have been suspended, including one who tased Nichols. The department says there are numerous charges still developing and more personnel actions will be announced in the coming days. Nichols died January 10th after being beaten by police. 5 officers were fired and charged with murder. An appeals court unanimously ruled that Johnson & Johnson cannot use a subsidiary to protect itself from lawsuits. J&J created LTL Management LLC in 2021 to make it responsible for liability it's facing in 38,000 lawsuits that claim the company's talc-based powder causes cancer. The plan was to file the subsidiary for bankruptcy. Johnson & Johnson and other companies have tried to do this using a Texas law, but the Third U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals shot it down. And President Biden will be in New York City today to kick off a new tunnel project between the Big Apple and New Jersey. This is a key corridor for commuters going in and out of New York City, serving about 200,000 passengers per day. The tunnel flooded during Superstorm Sandy, which led to corrosion that continues to get worse. The federal government will provide $292 million for the initial concrete casing from the bipartisan infrastructure law that the president signed in 2021. Ultimately, the full tunnel construction will cost $16 billion. Yesterday, the president announced billions in funding for a 150-year-old rail tunnel in Baltimore. He said every day that tunnel shuts down, it costs the economy $100 million.
99% of the weekdays there's been a delay here somewhere. Trust me, I know. This tunnel is nearly, as I said, 150 years old. This is Civil War era. Ulysses S. Grant was president. The structure is deteriorating. The roof is leaking. The floor is sinking.
Right now, trains are stuck going through the Baltimore tunnel at 30 miles per hour. When the new one is complete, trains will fly through at 120 miles per hour and get from Baltimore to D.C. in 30 minutes. Since 1969, the Boeing 747 jumbo jet has served as a cargo plane, a passenger jet that can carry 500 passengers. It even carried NASA's space shuttles and, of course, flew as Air Force One. But today marks the end of an era because Boeing will deliver its final 747 jumbo. The jet revolutionized overseas travel and allowed people to go distances never before possible. But companies like Boeing and Airbus have since developed far more efficient planes that run on 2 engines instead of 4. And new research shows that humans and dolphins can successfully work together to catch more fish. Researchers use drones, sound recordings, and other tools to show how Brazilian fishermen and bottlenose dolphin help each other catch mullet. The researchers say this is a cultural tradition that has been going on for more than a century in Laguna, Brazil, but they worry new commercial fishing methods could bring it to an end. Thanks for watching the Daily Rundown with Straight Arrow News. We're on a mission to bring back trustworthy journalism by only serving you, not an agenda. We'll be back this afternoon with more top news. Until then, I'm Ray Bogan. Have a safe day and a great day.